You know, Tomcats, sometimes I just don't get you. You have nice beds over there, your kennel, but you decide that you're gonna lay on the coffee table and sleep. I don't get you. Starting this video off with a little bit of a joyride. My TDI Jetta, when it starts doing its DPF burn, is pretty noticeable. It's actually quite annoying because the car will start bucking and surging like the fuel pump is going, and my exhaust gas temperatures will spike while it's doing it. And I find that just going back and forth to work, I just don't get it hot enough, so I decided I gotta take it out and take it for a good burn. And I already had it in fourth gear and drove for like 5-6 kilometers at 3,000 RPM to hopefully help burn it out a little bit so it's not as violent, but we'll see. My injector deviation on my Volkswagen cylinder number 1 seems to be way out to lunch. I wonder if that's the reason why I'm getting the surging and bucking. Now that value has dropped. I've been doing some thinking about the car. I need to really figure out when my warranty expires, because if I do need an injector, injectors aren't cheap. And if I can get it covered by warranty, puts a few extra dollars in the bank. So what we're gonna work on today on the Jeep is start manufacturing the exhaust system with a bunch of parts I've been collecting over the past little while. And I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to my videos. I bought this radiator tester kit a little while ago. I just got 10 pounds on the cooling system, holding pressure. So I'm not having any doubts there, but this kit is pretty fancy. A lot better than the other one I had. It has a feature, this vacuum feature here to fill. But I think also if you hook it up right and pull a vacuum, like reverse it so you can pull a vacuum coming off your rad there, you could remove some hoses and you won't piss out all your coolant because the vacuum's holding it in place. I'll have to experiment with that later on. But let's get started. Here we are, all the goodies on the table. So in this white box is my 2-into-1 collector that's going to join both headers. So I went with a OEM Fit Factory 4-liter exhaust kit. It's the MBRP that I'm going to hook up to my LS. I think she'll be all right, probably loud as frig. That way I don't have to worry about angles going up and over the axle and everything else when I start building my exhaust. It does have that flange, but I compensated for that because I bought this piece right there, and then those will bolt up and hopefully seal. So I got 4 O2 sensor bungs because I got the air fuel ratio gauges still in the Jeep from the supercharger. That also help monitor how the engine's running. Copper gaskets. I got 2 of these, don't think I'll use them. Bought one of these flex couplers here to help keep the pipe from breaking. Of course, if you know what these are. These isolators that hang the suspension. And one of these clamps that I'm going to join the main part of the exhaust together. So I'm thinking between all that and all the different piping in this box, I should be able to put something together. It's nice out right now, but there's supposed to be a big winter storm coming tonight, tomorrow. Tomcats, I just live streamed tonight. It was my busiest live stream ever. Over 400 people, Tomcats. What do you think? People were asking about you. Do you have anything to say to your fans? Do you? Do you? Do you just want some belly rubs? No? No belly rubs? Just give me some fucking food? Give me some treats? So I got the pipe hanging over the axle. Gotta stick one of these on. Guess the best way to start this off is to start on the rear and then connect to the passenger side with that Y, and then the other side should come naturally. So I'm gonna throw this piece in. So I just got it mocked up with a jack stand there. Kind of give me my baseline. Got lots of parts up there. This is the exhaust builder kit, which is be way more than I'm gonna need. I need to measure out how long I'm gonna need a length. So now that I got my tube bender, I'd like to redo this so it comes off the side of the frame and then bends down like an angle like that. So this isn't gonna be a big deal, but I want to come down right about here actually. So if I'm at about 14 inches total length, yeah, it'll work. Purchase this thing. Wonder how well it's gonna work. Must just this piece is almost redundant here, to be honest with you, because it just goes up to the exhaust flange part, but it's going to be in 3 pieces in total. So I tack welded that, but then I tack welded this and then took the tacks off because I will weld that in place last, because you could get a little bit of misalignment, but I didn't worry about it on this one here. Let's tack this up, and then allows for some flex. So now I gotta figure out how I'm going to work this. So this is where I went down the rabbit hole and started overthinking everything. So I was trying to be all fancy pants, but I think I'm gonna gut this section out and move this Y back, because I can't seem to sit in the position I want. If I go back here behind the transmission plate, I think it'll fit in better. Good morning, Mr. Domgats. Are we having a cuddle on the couch before we go to the garage? Are we? Have you been stocking up on food for the coronavirus, Tomcats? And have you got enough? So I just got the exhaust tack welded up. I went underneath the transmission versus going around the oil pan, and then straight up to the header on this side. And the pipe comes down and then across. It will be wrapped, so it shouldn't have too much effect on the transmission temperatures. Well, that was a fail. Good thing I didn't weld it up. Back to the drawing board. Just took apart all my pieces, and now I get to play the game all over again. So now I can start welding her up. I had to come with a sharp angle right there, because the control arm, I had it first built with a 90, but it came really close to the control arm when the axle was dropping down, so I came with a sharp end like that. I think it'll work. I don't have much gas left. I'm probably gonna run out of welding gas before I get this done up. So that's all welded up, except for the O2 sensors. I ran out of gas for the bottle, and my tank's expired. So I gotta get someone to hydro test it and take care of that. It's crazy, I still got enough parts in here to easily build another exhaust. Domgats, you want some treats, but look at your food dish. You are one messy eater. Do you want that treat? Do you? Do you think you can clean up your mess? Do you? Do you want another treat? Do you want another treat? Come on. That's a good boy. See? That's a good boy. Certified bottle. Just got it filled. Lots of gas now. Another dye. Picked up some other things. And then, of course, with the panic with the coronavirus, I may be looking at some time at home. You never know. Picked up enough metal. Start building some sliders. Build a stand. Got 1-inch dom, 1.5-inch dom, 2-inch tubing. That'll get me started. Last couple days, it's been crazy with the snow. It's almost all melted. I had to have the plow out to clear out my alley. By tomorrow, I'll have to do it again. Moving along, all the O2 sensor ports are in, 4 of them. I'm gonna tape off all the ends. So I grab my party smoker. Be a good way to check, see if the exhaust has any leaks. Do I got a light? Oh yeah. Start smoking the exhaust. Ah, saw a hole right there. Right there. Start patching that up. Oh, I see some puffing coming out of there. Found a few leaks, but nothing too major. Not only can you check for evap leaks, air leaks, also works for exhaust too. The good old party smoker. Cleaned her up, painted it. I'm gonna wrap it as well, but I want to get to this stage because I don't want the bare steel to be rust. I know people are gonna say that I should have used stainless, I should have did this, I should have TIG welded. There's a lot of things I should have fucking done. There's a million ways to do a job. I want to get this thing fitted up, work out the bugs. In a few years, when this thing probably rusts out, I'll just take it to a shop and get one professionally made. I just want to get this thing on the fucking road and try to do as much stuff as I possibly can. Well, I honestly don't think I accomplished anything by painting it. But I do have wrap in the box, and I bought another thing of the aluminized heat barrier for the oil pan. And this is one for the starter, to protect the starter. So now let's get the gloves on and fiberglass wrap this. This stuff here is a necessary evil for sure. going through all those O2 sensor bungs as best as you possibly can. I really don't know how much of this I need to wrap going down, because I just want to protect by the oil pan and such. Now I wrap both tubes just because it's less material to do it that way. Now let's get this stuff on the oil pan. I just noticed this, and it's going to come into some issues later on, is for the upper control arm, for example, that's where your bolt's going to go through, and look what's going to come down in the way. The exhaust. So when I rebuild the suspension in the front, I'm going to have to drop the exhaust. But that being said, I don't know if I can get a good picture of it, but this is it. I just put it around the front here. I don't know how much that's going to help out or not, but we'll see. Well, let's get this bolted in. I know one thing for sure. If you got to do the starter, this has got to come off. You want to do the front suspension, this has got to come off. I don't know if there's any other way around it if you do an LS swap, but we'll find out. So that's the blanket right there. Basically almost wraps around twice, but just as I thought, where the starter goes through right there, it won't wrap around, which kind of sucks, but still got lots of that left. So now I got it in. Wasn't exactly the funnest time, and the wrap kind of got all messed up while putting her on too, but there we go. Having a double pipe come down this way was definitely made it hard to get the O2 sensors in. You know, I kind of wanted maybe to go underneath another one, but that would have dropped the exhaust down lower, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. That's how it turned out. I don't know if you can see, but I had to make it so this control arm, whoops. I had to make it so that the control arm hopefully shouldn't have any issues flexing with the pipe. That'll be determined. Glad that's taken care of. The exhaust is done. I can finally start doing some testing before startup. Maybe start up in the next video. Fuck, shit is getting real. Shit is getting real. As of right now with that coronavirus, they just shut down the schools, post-secondary education. I think we're only less than 2 weeks away from total shutdown in this area. It is getting absolutely crazy. At least when the shutdown comes, as long as I stay healthy, I got lots to do in the Jeep. Might work out for the benefit for me. Downside is, I'm not going to have any money come in because I'm not going to be working probably. Who knows what's going to happen? There's a lot of panic going on right now. People are going crazy buying out the fucking grocery stores, but I think it's motherfucking beer time. And by motherfucking beer time, I need something that's going to fucking be tasty. Let's grab this Rail Yard Peach Sour right here. Whew, I don't know what to tell you. Civilization is going into uncharted waters right about now. Maybe it's the world just about to ready to purge itself. Anyways, motherfucking beer time. Let's have a peach beer. I am fucking itchy and fuck with that stuff. So, from this point forward, next video gonna be doing some troubleshooting, doing some testing, making sure there's no issues, no errors. And if everything's gonna look good, might just see if this bitch is gonna fire up. If it fires up and makes me happy, I can continue going down with so much other more crap to do. Anyways, motherfucking beer time. If you guys have any questions or comments, post them below. Otherwise, I want to thank you guys for watching. Motherfucking beer time, coronavirus.